Hi, this is Emily of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Do you need some extra motivation in your life? Are you looking to be inspired? If so, then look no further than the Good God Company.
At the Good God Company, their mission is to create and clothe all loving humans with their unique, inspiring, and beautifully designed t-shirts.
All of the products from the Good God Company are equally designed to motivate you and improve your life. From their mugs, workout tanks, to eye-appealing shirts and sweatshirts.
Learn more about their renowned products by visiting thegoodgodcompany.com. That's thegoodgodcompany.com.
The Good God Company is proud to support Public House Media. The Good God Company. I'm feeling good.
I'm the Greg.
And I am Dave Show.
We host the Greg and Dave Show on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out our show, The Greg and Dave Show, where we talk about strange, bizarre, and sometimes just downright quirky news stories that you may not have heard about.
A new show comes out every Wednesday. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes. And hey, thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys.
Coffee with Keith.
And Katie from Public House Media.
Brought to you by
The Good God Company.
Check them out at goodgodcompany.com. I have my coffee with me.
I have orange juice.
Katie has orange juice because Katie's sick.
I am sick.
You big sicko.
Yep.
Big sicky.
Yep. That's me.
Let's all point and laugh at Katie for being sick.
We did get through our anniversary before I got sick though. So that was nice.
She says that, she's fine being married to me for so long, but I don't know. I think I think her body is telling her otherwise.
Do you want it to be telling me otherwise?
The title of the show is called Seven. 7 for...
Not for the movie.
No. 7 for 7 years of marriage.
What? 7 years and 3 days? 4?
3 days.
7 years and 3 days.
7 years and 3 days.
We did it.
We were not doing the show on Monday because that was our anniversary.
He said, "Oh no, we can do one quick," and I said, "No, I am not interrupting my dinner to do a show.
Yeah.
We get to take a day off," and so we did.
So for all of you that missed us on Monday,
thanks for missing us. Thanks
her
for being
fault.
Loyal viewers.
It's her fault.
It is.
Yeah. So the title of the show is 7 because we're kind of looking back on our 7 years of marriage. This show is called Coffee with Keith and Katie. One of the reasons is because the first things that we did together as a couple was get coffee all the time. That was like our one thing. We were in college.
Yep.
We did not have any money to really go out and do anything on a consistent basis. But the one thing that we could do consistently was get coffee. Number one, they had a Starbucks in the library at our school. So
our food points covered it.
So our food points covered it. And then once that kind of started being our thing, family members started giving us Starbucks gift cards and things like that, so we could actually go out off campus and spend more money on coffee.
Yep, and now we're still broke, and they've stopped giving us money. Unbelievable.
So coffee has always been a staple in our
first
relationship.
date was a study date. We met in the coffee shop. And we studied for theater. The only time I've actually studied. I am not proud of that.
Ever? She didn't have to study. She's too smart. That's what she's trying to say.
But we were studying for theater class, and I thought, this guy knows I'm a theater major. I should really seem like I know what I'm talking about.
I was lying because so, and if you didn't know, we're just looking back on the 7 years of marriage, almost 11 years of being in a relationship. We were completely different people when we met each other.
Yeah.
But I like to say, Elle, thanks for watching.
Hi, Elle.
David, of course, thanks for watching.
Did we say hi to David?
I don't know if we said hi to David. I saw David's name pop up there, and
Hi,
I'm like,
David.
of course David's what. But you know what? I can't take our viewers for granted. David, thank you for watching as always, man. Talking, as I said, we're looking back on our relationship. It's kind of like a clip show, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah, I like to say that our marriage is based on a lie because I saw Katie in theater class one day, and I'm like, ooh, she's kind of cute. I have to figure out what her name is. Figured out that her name was Katie. There were 2 Katies in our theater class.
There were 5,000 Katies on campus.
Right, there were 2.
5,000.
5,000 with like an undergrad of less than 4.
2,000.
So it was one of 2 Katies. So I was pretty sure that she was Katie Binger. And
Guys, this was before Facebook was Facebook.
it's true.
And I had my privacy default so high that
I couldn't figure it
I
out.
had to friend you if you were to find me.
Yep, I couldn't find her. Of course, that's what I try to do, try to Facebook stalk her. So, anyways, I emailed.
Yes, there was a directory. There's a student directory
For every class.
for every class.
Yeah. So, I said, hey, saw that you're in my theater class. Don't know if you want to, get together and study for this. I could use some help. So, I didn't need any help because I was getting an A in the class. I was killing it in that class, but I lied and I said, hey, I could use help studying. So I figured one of 2 things was going to happen. She would realize that I was smart in the class and be like, oh, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. Or, after the test, she would see that I got a good grade and she'd be like, wow, this guy actually studied with me and he wanted to learn the material. Either way, I thought it was a win-win situation.
Or the girl is living in the 21st century and thought, this is how a guy asks a girl out now.
Did you read right through me?
I did. Saw right through you.
Shoot. And I figured if I got the wrong Katie, if I realized that I emailed the wrong Katie, I knew what the other Katie looked like at least, so I'd know who I was looking for. I was going to be looking for one or the other.
You were going to study with this other Katie?
Well, I wasn't going to just...
I have not heard this part of the story.
Well, no, I said this before. If I realized that I had emailed the wrong Katie, then I would have just studied with this Katie and be like, okay, cool.
You
were
going to study with this other Katie.
Well, I wasn't going to be rude and be like, hey, I was actually looking for the other one. I wasn't going to be rude. I would have just studied with the other Katie, and then I would have emailed you, the other Katie. And then but hey,
It didn't work out that way.
I got it right on the first try.
Everything's fine. Yes.
Yep. And so 11 years later, I like to say our marriage is based on a lie.
Yes, you do like to say that.
But as mentioned, the title of the episode is 7. We've had 7 anniversaries. I don't think any anniversary, however, will be as memorable as the 2nd anniversary.
No, you can't beat that. But first, I want to say 7 is very exciting. I think you were the first one of your group of friends to get married.
I think so. We were young. We were
so.
still technically 23.
Don't tell them how old we are.
I was almost 24, but everybody knows how old we are.
I'm trying to keep it hidden. Anyway, and I think I was one of the first. I don't know. I don't keep in touch with high school friends. I'm not sure, and I didn't have friends in college. Doesn't matter. One of his friends couldn't make it to our wedding because he was the best man.
Best man at another person's
person's wedding.
Just as well, I didn't make... My brother was my best man, so I didn't make this friend my best man, so it's fine.
So, we later learned that the person that his friend stood up for, how long did it last? 6 months?
You're just calling out this other couple right
Just
now.
call them out by name. I have
don't
no
know
idea who they
I
are.
don't know who they are, but it'll last like
We know 2 couples that
6
got
months.
married the same day, same year that we did. And one of them was engaged within 6 months of the marriage to someone else. And then this one was separated.
Separated after
So we're
6
really
months.
proud of ourselves.
We made
We're awesome.
She's
I
just
thought.
like
The mucus is getting into my brain.
she's just like crapping on everybody else's marriage right now. Like, ours is great. What have you done with yours? My parents just celebrated like 44 years.
That's right. Happy anniversary,
So,
Don and Marsha.
They're watching this show to be like 7 years. Give me a break.
Well, they know.
Do that, do that a couple times over.
Anyway, 7. The year of wool and copper. If you want them to send us something, you should send us wool or copper.
They say his
Or
teeth were made of
Starbucks
wool.
gift cards. One of the 2.
Okay, wool or copper.
Wool or
We will
copper.
accept.
Alright, now tell them the worst anniversary. Are you going to tell it from the beginning? How the whole day started?
How did the whole day start?
He doesn't even know. So our second anniversary, Keith was working the Green Bay Packer football camps.
That's right.
You were a coach for kids.
Right. And we were living in Chicago at the time, so I drove up to Wisconsin to work these camps.
And they would spend a week in one location.
Yep.
And it was
in
a
Milwaukee.
Friday. He was in Milwaukee.
Yep.
And
It's
we
coming back.
decided that I would go up and meet him, and we'd drive home together, and then we would go out for dinner, because the next day we had family coming into town.
Yep.
And we didn't want to rush it with family, and we didn't want to rush our anniversary, so we'll do this. So Keith worked out in the sun all day. I don't know what I did. I probably worked that day. Who knows?
Yep.
Then we drove back to Chicago.
Okay.
Then we had to get ready, and girls take a while to get ready, and I wanted to do my nails, and I had this really cute dress that I had bought just for the occasion, and I borrowed my aunt's shoes, and they were beautiful, and then the shoe part comes later.
Yep.
So we left the house, the apartment. About a block later, it started raining.
I forgot about the rain. Pouring.
It poured. We huddled in a doorway
Yep.
and waited for it to get a little better.
Yeah. It didn't last too long, but we got a little wet, and it lasted 5 to 10 minutes or something like that. So we're sitting there. I mean, just think about sitting there waiting for it to stop raining for like 5 to 10 minutes. I'm in a suit.
We're
She's
exhausted.
in a dress.
We're
Already
exhausted.
tired.
We both worked all day,
Yep.
driven back and forth to Wisconsin,
Yep.
hot, and now it was like 7 o'clock at night when we left.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but it stops raining.
Stopped raining.
We catch the train downtown.
We go to the Grand Lux.
It's on Michigan Avenue.
Amazing
in Chicago.
place.
Great. It's a great place.
Amazing.
Very nice.
Yes. They have amazing food. And
Big portions too.
Keith ate an entire chicken.
Not an entire chicken.
I think it was an entire
It was
chicken.
like a half chicken.
It was like a
But to say-
Cornish game chicken.
Yeah, but it said, all right, you get like a whole chicken or whatever. I'm like, okay, like this is a nicer place. The portions aren't going to be that big. I'm sure it'll be enough to eat. It was a whole freaking like
It was a whole
chicken.
chicken.
It was a big thing with sides and stuff. I'm like, wow. But it was so good, and I was so hungry from having worked all day that I downed this thing. I went to town on this chicken and like the mashed potatoes and everything. It was so good.
Meanwhile, I can already tell my shoes are bothering me.
Yeah.
For some reason, it took us a really long time to walk to the restaurant from the train. Now that I know where it is, I don't understand how it took that long.
Because it was her shoes. Couldn't walk in the shoes.
I had a hard time with the shoes.
She did.
I was getting a blister.
Already.
So, I was already getting a blister.
Yeah.
Because we took such a roundabout way to get to the restaurant. So, I was getting a blister. Keith ate an entire chicken. And what did you do at the restaurant?
I unbuckled my belt, right?
He unbuckled his belt.
That was not. It was. I unbuckled my belt.
Discreetly.
Right. I just.
Very discreet.
Whatever. So I was feeling full. I'm like, all right, I just ate a lot. It was fine. And we weren't. But the main course was so good. I'm not going to leave here without getting dessert.
Right? Oh yeah, have to get dessert.
They had the strawberry shortcake. Sounded amazing. I'm like, okay.
No idea what I ate.
Said, okay, the strawberry shortcake is not going to be nearly as big as what the main course was.
Dessert at a fancy
dessert, exactly. I'm like, all right, misjudged this place on the portion size that I would get here. They delivered on the main course. But, I mean, come on, dessert at a nice restaurant, this will be pretty small. Maybe a couple of strawberries with a little piece of cake, whatever. It was huge, yeah. Like a bunch of whole strawberries with ice cream and whipped cream and this like really sweet but not too sweet breading. The strawberry shortcake sundae was freaking incredible.
And it's ice cream. You can't take it home.
Right.
You have to eat it.
And it's huge. And the ice cream and the whipped cream and whatever type of cake this was with the strawberries, it all kind of like mixed together. So it was, like really good like soggy ice cream cake. And with the strawberry, it was so good. And I was already full, but it was so good, and I knew I couldn't. And I knew I couldn't take it home, so I ate the whole thing.
You ate the whole thing.
The whole thing. So I'd eaten this massive main course, which was practically a whole chicken.
Yep.
Not exaggerating on that. And then this huge monstrosity of a strawberry shortcake dessert with ice cream. So
I had been sitting this entire time, resting my feet. Yep. Hoping that I should be able to walk back to the train, and then from the train to our apartment, and it should be fine. My feet did not rest. I'm not sure what they were doing. They did not rest, though.
No.
We got outside of the restaurant.
Katie did the grossest thing of all time.
I had to take off my shoes.
She walked...
I walked in downtown Chicago.
Barefoot.
On the sidewalk. Barefoot.
As the grossest thing I've ever heard.
Done.
I think she put the shoes on while on the subway.
Oh, yes. We didn't go down into the subway until I put my shoes back on. Right. We were not going into the subway and on the train without shoes.
But
No. Just the sidewalk.
So I'm right, but that's disgusting. So
I had no choice. He couldn't give me a piggyback ride or carry me. He was obviously out of commission. Just a disaster.
And we had a couple drinks before dinner. It took a while for our seat. It was a busy restaurant. It took a while for us to get our seats.
We wanted a nice seat, so we had to wait a while. Girl, you nasty. Hey,
I like it.
I have seen plenty of other women walking around Chicago barefoot.
Yeah.
It happens.
She wasn't nearly as messed up as those girls. You see those like really messed up girls in Wrigleyville. Like they think they're going to have a great night. It's Friday night. And then you see them walking home barefoot with their shoes in their hand, crying. Anyways.
Anyway, my feet were tore up.
They
were bad.
Katie's feet were done because of the shoes that she was wearing.
Yeah.
I was completely done.
Cute.
I was like honestly like wobbling. I had to unbuckle my belt because it was too much pressure. This was the first and only time I had to unbuckle my belt due to the amount of food that I had eaten at once. And so Katie's walking like this down the street because she's like her feet are sore and she's trying to make sure she's not stepping in anything gross.
It's not like he'll carry my shoes or my purse for me.
And I'm walking.
We were just both kind of catatonic.
Right. Exactly. I'm
just
walking like this because I'm so full I can't even talk.
I don't remember anything about that night other than my feet hurt.
Yep. And so we get back to the apartment.
We get off the train.
Yep.
I take my shoes off again. We walk to the apartment.
And then I don't know what happened for the rest of the night. Because
I do.
Because I don't know what happened for the rest of the night because all I know is about 6 hours later, I wake up the following morning with my suit still on the bed. I had just taken my kicked my shoes off, rolled over on the bed, and that's how I fell asleep that night.
Yeah, so here's what happened. We got home. My feet were disgusting. Thank you, David and Keith. So I sat on the edge of the tub and soaked my feet for like a half an hour.
Because they were sore and dirty.
They were sore. They were gross. I thought I never...
It was disgusting.
Taking my shoes off seemed like a good idea at the time, but then I'm like, I am never gonna get this.
She's talking about, what are you doing? This is awful.
So I'm sitting in my beautiful dress on the edge of the tub, just dangling my feet in the water, just waiting. Half an hour, and Keith's not doing anything. I don't know what he's doing. Half an hour later, I come out of the bathroom. He's spread eagle on the bed, passed out. Still has his jacket on. Took off his shoes, but his belt's still undone. He's just spread out. And here I am in my beautiful dress on our second anniversary.
Sore feet.
With sore feet.
Dirty feet.
Gross, dirty feet.
What do we have to take away from this story? The food was amazing. The food was incredible.
It was.
So that was by far the biggest adventure we ever had.
I would like to go back though and actually enjoy the food this time.
Let's do it. Well, I definitely enjoyed the food.
I don't even remember what I had.
That's on you.
I was so focused on him eating an entire chicken.
I must have looked super attractive doing it too.
I was focused on my feet,
but
honestly.
So that's our favorite anniversary story. That was year number 2.
That's not the only anniversary I have walked home barefoot from, though.
Oh, what was the other one? We're running out of time.
Oh, anyway.
Go ahead.
So I wore really adorable shoes. Because I wear walking shoes.
No adorable shoes are going to be comfortable shoes.
No, they're not. Not at all. And in the city you have to walk, so you wear comfortable shoes. But on our anniversary, I'd like to look like an adult. Maybe pulled together. Wear cute shoes.
Nobody looks like an adult in Chicago anyway, because every adult carries a backpack with them.
So I wore adorable shoes and walked home barefoot because they broke and gave me blisters.
Yeah.
The other night, wore pretty shoes, got a blister.
She didn't take them off.
Bad.
She didn't take them off and walk barefoot, though.
Moral of the story is, anniversaries are going to end with sore feet.
She knows that, though. She's had 5 years. She's had 5 years to figure that out since then.
Yeah, and I did it again anyway.
But it's been 7 years, and somehow we found a way not to kill each other up to this point. And we knew after the first 5 years, we knew we'd make it because the first 5 years here were spent in a small studio apartment. We now have a small 1-bedroom apartment. But
the studio was big enough for a bed, a couch, and us.
That was it. And we knew after being on top of each other for the first 5 years in a new city and everything, like, all right, we can probably make it work.
We still have a hard time being in separate rooms. When we go home to one of our parents and we're not in the same room, we can't see each other, something's wrong.
Something's wrong. It's just like, my God, where is this person? Where is this other person?
If I go into the room, I have to tell Keith, everything's okay.
I'm just going into the other room.
Just going to go in the other room. I'm
right.
going to call my mom. I'm going to do something. Whatever. Everything's okay. Going in the other room.
Times.
But that makes us adorable. Aww. I have too many drugs in my system.
Yeah, so Katie's sick.
Yep.
And that's why she's drinking orange juice instead of coffee. But I, of course, have coffee.
He has coffee in his Coffee with Keith and Katie mug, which you should buy one of.
Boom!
Awesome.
Public House Media Store. Public House Media Store. We're right there. It says Coffee with Keith and Katie. It's a great mug. It holds what you're drinking, so
yes, it does. And
it even makes everything that you drink out of it taste better.
It's a great conversation starter. You should all buy one.
People come over, they see me drinking out of this coffee mug. They say, "Wow, is that your super awesome Coffee with Keith and Katie coffee mug from your super awesome Coffee with Keith and Katie show?" And I say, "Absolutely, it is. You should buy one."
We have had no one over since we got those mugs.
Literally, that is never a conversation that happens.
We're going to lose our viewers.
We've come to the point of the show where
Everyone's
Katie
favorite.
tries to stump me.
Yes.
Ain't gonna happen.
The name game, or Stump Keith. So I've been having a hard time coming up with names. We usually make Keith tell us where this quarterback went to college. But nothing's really going on in the NFL now, so I've been doing kind of history, while we wait.
All right.
So, Keith, what was the NFL named before it was the NFL?
We had the NFC and we had the NFL and the AFL.
Before that. In 1920.
1920.
What was founded in 1920?
So what became the NFL?
Yes.
What was founded in 1920? What was it named?
Yes.
Billy, thanks for joining us, man.
Oh, Billy, how nice to join when you're not on the show.
Ooh, I was gonna say you guys might remember Billy from Beers with Billy. A couple
only
of
watches when he's on
special
the
episodes that we've done. He just started joining the show and you started trash talking, and that's how
I am
Billy
on
can
a
take
lot
it.
of Mucinex. I'm taking a lot of sulfur tablets and cough drops.
What was it?
Yo.
NFL, what was it called before?
It's not a big deal. It's not very exciting.
The NFC, the National Football Conference.
American Professional Football Association.
American Professional Football Association.
APFA.
APFA. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yes, done.
Fair enough.
So founded in 1920, there are 2 teams left from that beginning league. What are those teams? Today, the names of today's teams that have lasted.
Packers.
Nope.
Not the Packers or the Bears. The Bears.
Yes. The
Bears were.
Yep. And who else? You know this. We've talked about this. Just guess.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Arizona Cardinals.
But they weren't in Arizona.
No, but those are the franchises. They have moved. Green Bay is the oldest team that has stayed in the same place. And they joined the league in 1921, I believe.
But the Bears weren't the Bears in 1920.
No, what were they?
The Decatur Staleys.
Yes!
Yeah.
Well done!
Boom. I know Bears history. Billy, I know Bears history.
Do you know why they're called the Bears?
Because of Papa Bear. George Halas.
No.
I don't know.
Because they moved into Wrigley Field, 1921. And back then it was common for football teams and baseball teams to share a space. So like the Giants and the Giants, they were named the same because they shared the space, Now they've moved. Anyway, so they said, hey, George Halas, you're moving in here. You're going to name your team the Cubs now? It's like, no, we're big, we're strong, we're Bears. And now they're the Bears. Not so big and strong.
Okay.
Anyway, so
All right.
those are the 2 oldest teams.
Bears and Cardinals.
Yes.
Not necessarily where they started out, but the franchises
Right.
are the same as what they were. They just moved.
The Bears
got
have
rid of
only moved once.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are the 2 most recent additions to the NFL? Bear down.
David.
And they used to be the Staleys because of a time traveler who went back in time and named the team after running back Deuce Staley.
Like it. I don't know if that's
No,
correct,
it's
David.
not true.
I don't know.
It was named for the employer who was supporting the team, like the Packers, or the Acme Packing Company.
When I see that from David, I think of Ron Burgundy talking about San Diego with Veronica's Corner. Founded by the French. They named it San Diego. Anyway. So what are the 2 newest additions?
Yes, what are the 2 most recent expansion teams?
The Texans.
Yep. The second oldest is a technicality. I'll give you that.
It'd be the Texans and the Browns.
No.
Not the Browns. Because the Browns were technically an expansion team when they... Who would be new? Alright, Texans are new.
Yep.
I'm trying to work my way.
Jaguars are new, but it's not them.
Jaguars and the Panthers were new at the same time.
Yes.
They were both
They
two
were
new
new
expansions.
in 1995.
Technicality.
There is someone who was new in 1996. Although
The Jaguars and the Panthers were new in
they
1996.
didn't become an expansion team until 99.
The Tennessee Titans.
You're so close with the Browns. Ravens! There it is, Billy.
No, the Browns, the Ravens
Baltimore Ravens
moved from Cleveland to Baltimore.
in 1996. Yes, they did move. Good job. However, after the 1999 season, when the Cleveland Browns came back, they resumed their history.
Who?
The Browns.
Right.
So the NFL technically recognizes the Ravens as an expansion team.
That's stupid.
The Browns were suspended.
You know what? And I've said this a couple of times to all you Browns fans out there. Okay, so
Keith is salty.
I'm salty. I'm upset.
Oh,
I'm not upset that Bill. It's not accurate. Really, if we're being completely technical here, the Ravens should have all of the Browns' history.
Sure, they should.
Jim Brown and everything like that. Browns fans, Jim Brown and everything like you guys don't get to claim him. The Baltimore Ravens do, because that's your franchise.
But
Baltimore
you can't-
Ravens is your franchise.
You can't put a team with the same name in the same city and not take that history.
Cleveland should have been better at keeping an NFL team in the first place.
Sure.
I don't. Everybody likes to rip on
They
Cleveland.
should
and
have
I'm just
had
trying
a
to
billionaire who would build his own stadium.
Hey. The Packers didn't have a billionaire that built their own stadium.
Because we're the Packers
We're the
and we're
Packers and
awesome
we're
in
awesome.
all things.
I'm just saying.
Billy.
The Baltimore Ravens were not an expansion team. The Browns moved there. And just because the Browns decided to become an expansion franchise again doesn't mean that it's as if saying the Ravens didn't exist from this point of time, from when the Browns moved to Baltimore and when the Browns then again became another franchise.
Not accurate, so now you're calling your wife inaccurate? That's a dangerous game. Billy's not even married and he
I
knows.
like Billy.
Thank you, Billy.
I'm saying that Katie's information is inaccurate.
Google it right now.
I'm
Get
saying
your phone.
I'm sure that Google thinks that they're right.
The NFL says the Ravens are an expansion team.
A lot
You
of,
don't have to like it. You don't have to believe it. But it's true.
I was alive when it happened. I know what happened.
Obviously, you don't.
The Browns moved to Baltimore.
No,
Then the Browns got a
we've-
new expansion
We've
team.
just been talking about our loving relationship for the past 11 years, and
This-
now we're going to shut it off on this fight
No, this is how you make it work. Healthy debate and conversation.
in sports.
Keep the lanes of communication open.
Just
cut your losses, man.
Abort mission, Keith.
All right, Katie, you're right.
Thank you.
That was a good tribute. That was a
Right?
good question right there. Because technically, I'm sure that's how the NFL does it. So, you got me. I'm not kissing her on the lips because she's sick.
I'm sick.
She's a big fat sick.
In fairness to Keith, the NFL still doesn't know what a catch is.
Thanks, David.
Fair enough.
David's coming to the rescue. This has been Coffee with Keith.
And Katie on Public House Media.
It's been 7 years.
7 years of wedded bliss and sports arguments.
We'll see if we can keep it going.
We'll see.
Anyway, hope that Katie gets better and she's in better shape come Monday at 7:30 because that's when our next show is.
Yep.
Mondays at 7:30.
Be there.
Thursdays at 7:30. Be there or
be square.
Yeah, going back to the
Yeah.
1980s or 90s on that one. Everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy some coffee while you're at it, and we will see you for more Coffee with Keith and Katie on Monday at 7:30. Take care, guys.